learn something about Bhagavad Gita. So after some days of introduction, this professor asked the Indian student, can you tell something about Gita? Do you know what was the reply of this student? Harshanandaji Maharaj used to tell, see the irony of our Indian youngsters. He told that Indian student told the professor, the American professor, sir, I do not know any girl by the name Gita. So that was the response of this student who was so ignorant about Bhagavad Gita, such a great scripture. And to be some mic please on and it is disturbing us. Can you put up the mic please? Somebody's mic. It is disturbing the meeting. Okay, never mind. So we have to learn thoroughly about this great scripture. I want to bring your attention about this great scripture with some of the sayings of Swami Vivekananda. It will be very, very important and it will be very something special. And what is that? Swami Vivekananda tells that Bhagavad Gita is the authority on Vedanta. Vedas and Vedanta. You should know it. Bhagavad Gita is the authority according to Swami Vivekananda on Vedanta. Now, one more special importance of Vedanta in the complete verse of Swami Vivekananda we can find Swami Vivekananda quoting Lord Shiva's statement about Bhagavad Gita. It's a very special thing, isn't it? Lord Shiva telling something special on Bhagavad Gita that is being quoted by Swami Vivekananda. What is Swami Vivekananda quoting about Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is telling in praise of deep spiritual significance of Bhagavad Gita and the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Shiva is telling, I know the real meaning of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. That is, Lord Shiva knows the real meaning and teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And another person who knows is Shuka. Shuka Maharshi, you know the Shuka Maharshi, he knows Bhagavad Gita. And perhaps Vyasa Maharshi, Vyasa knows a little. So, this is the saying of Lord Shiva and this is being quoted by Swami Vivekananda. What is that? Lord Shiva is telling, I know the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, I know the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita. Shuka Maharshi knows also the meaning and perhaps Vyasa Maharshi knows a little of Bhagavad Gita. Now, in another place, Swami Vivekananda tells that Bhagavad Gita brings fully the sweet harmony of all the religion and of all the differing paths in Hinduism too. What is that Swami Vivekananda is telling here? The quotation from Bhagavad Gita which Swami Vivekananda has translated, the whole world of religion is only traveling, a coming up of different men and women through various conditions and circumstances to the same goal. So here Swami Vivekananda is showing the harmony of not only different sects and different groups of Hinduism, but also of all the religion where Lord Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita is quoted. Swami Vivekananda is telling the whole world of religion is only a traveling, a coming up of different men and women through various conditions and circumstances to the same goal. Now, I want to take you through another incident which happened in the life of Swami Vivekananda, which is very interesting. If you have read the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, you can get it. But rarely we see this incident. What is that incident? In the volume 7, page 272, Swami Vivekananda had gone to his friend's house. There he saw a picture painted about the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is sitting in the chariot, controlling the horses, and Arjuna is there, not ready to fight. Then Krishna is giving the Bhagavad Gita. You all know that wonderful picture of Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield. Now, Swami Vivekananda saw that picture in his friend's house. Sri Krishna addressing Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Sri Krishna stands on the chariot, holding the reins in his hands and preaching the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Now Swami Vivekananda showed that picture, that friend Sri Priyanath Sinha showed this picture to Swami Vivekananda, and he asked Swami Vivekananda, how did he like it? To which Swami Vivekananda replied, fairly well, I said, but as the friend insisted on having my criticism on that picture or that painting, Swami Vivekananda is telling I had to give my honest opinion by saying there is nothing in it to commend itself to me. First, because the chariot of the time of Sri Krishna was not like the modern pagoda shaped car. And also, there is no expression in the figure of Sri Krishna. Now, the friend Sri Priyanath Sinha is asking Swamiji, how then should Krishna be represented in the picture in this question? Now Swami Vivekananda is replying, Sri Krishna is to be painted as he really was. What is that? Gita, Bhagavad Gita personified. See, every word of Bhagavad Gita, every word of Swami Vivekananda here gives the whole picture, the whole essence of Bhagavad Gita. So please carefully note the beautiful words of Swami Vivekananda. What is that? Swami Vivekananda is telling, Sri Krishna in this picture of Bhagavad Gita ought to be painted as he really was. What is that? The Bhagavad Gita personified. And the central idea of Bhagavad Gita should radiate from his whole form. As he was teaching the path of dharma, that is righteousness, to Arjuna. So here he is teaching the path of righteousness to Arjuna. So that has to be pictured in Sri Krishna whole picture, the painting. Now, what is Arjuna now facing? Where Arjuna, who had been overcome by infatuation, moha and cowardice. So that has to be brought in that picture. So saying, Swami Vivekananda posed himself like Krishna, the way in which Krishna should be portrayed. And continued, look here, see, very rare, isn't it? Nobody has noticed this. Swami Vivekananda is showing how Krishna should be painted. And he is telling, and he is posing himself like Krishna of the Bhagavad Gita. Swami Vivekananda is telling, look here, thus does he hold the bridle of the horses. How is Krishna holding the bridle of the horses? Swami Vivekananda is showing it. Thus does Lord Krishna hold the bridle of the horses so tight that they are brought to their haunches. Now the horses are brought to their haunches with their forelegs fighting the air and their mouths gaping. See the picture. Imagine Imagine what Swami Vivekananda is giving, the picture of the battle of Kurukshetra and the Lord Krishna and the horses, everything. How should Lord Krishna be pulling the reins? So tight that they are brought, the horses are brought to their haunches with their forelegs fighting the air and their mouths gaping. This will show. Why is he telling this? This will show a tremendous play of action in the figure of Sri Krishna. Now, his friend, the world-renowned hero Arjuna, casting aside his bow and arrows, has sunk down like a cover on the chariot in the midst of two armies.
Yes, sir.
And Sri Krishna, whip in one hand, and tightening the reins. Sorry, excuse me. Sri Krishna, whip in one hand and tightening the reins with the other, has turned himself towards Arjuna. And now see the beautiful explanation of Swami Vivekananda about the face of Krishna. We should note these are all very important. It is conveying the essence, the message of Bhagavad Gita. That's why you should carefully listen to every word of Swami Vivekananda here. How should the face of Lord Krishna to be portrayed here? Lord Krishna turned himself towards Arjuna sitting on the chariot, while his childlike, see the face of Krishna is like childlike face beaming with unworldly love and sympathy and a calm and serene look. And Lord Krishna is delivering the message of Bhagavad Gita to his comrade Arjuna. Now, after this beautiful explanation of the face and the chariot and the horses in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, now Swami Vivekananda, after this explanation, is telling the Priyanath Sinha, now tell me what idea this picture of the preacher of Bhagavad Gita conveys. What does it convey to you? The friend answered, activity combined with firmness and serenity. See, the message of Bhagavad Gita, activity with firmness and serenity. Nowhere Krishna has told that you should just forget your work, your duties, and you should give in to your religious activity or some rituals. No. Activity combined with religion. What a wonderful thing, isn't it? The message given here. Activity combined with firmness and serenity. Swami Vivekananda further clarifies the beautiful message of that Gitacharya in the Bhagavad Gita given by him. What is that? When the answer was activity combined with firmness and serenity, Swami Vivekananda replied, aye, that's it. What is that? Intense action in the whole body and with a face expressing the profound calmness and serenity of the blue sky. This is the central idea of Bhagavad Gita. Swami Vivekananda is giving that central idea of Bhagavad Gita. What is he telling? Intense action in the whole body and with a face expressing the profound calmness and serenity of the blue sky. This is the central idea of Bhagavad Gita. To be calm and steadfast in all circumstances. To be calm and steadfast in all circumstances, with one's body, mind and soul centered at his hallowed feet, the Lord's feet. So again, Swami Vivekananda is quoting from the 4th chapter, 18th verse. He who, even while doing action, can keep his mind calm, and in whom, even when not doing any outward action, flows the current of activity in the form of the contemplation of Lord Parabrahman, is the intelligent one among men. He indeed is the yogi. He indeed is the perfect worker. And another beautiful statement given by Swami Vivekananda, telling the summary of the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is in one verse. What is that? Klaibhyam smagamah partha naitattvai upapadyate yaktvam hridaya daurbalyam. What is this? Your weakness of the heart. Yaktvotishta parantapa klaibhyam smagamah partha naitattvai upapadyate. This covered eyes of yours is not fit for you. Come out of that fear and covered eyes and start acting, do your duty. So that is Swami Vivekananda is telling the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Don't be a coward, don't have fear, be fearless and face this world, do your duty properly. So now we got some beautiful thing of what Swami Vivekananda has directly showed, how the Bhagavad Gita picture is to be portrayed, by which we are getting the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Now, another place Swami Vivekananda tells, always repeat the mantra. What is that? That thou art, or thou art that. What is that? Thou art that. Tattvam asi. And another statement, I am that aham brahmasmi. All this is verily Brahman, sarvam khalu idam brahma. And then Swami Vivekananda is telling, have the courage of a lion in the heart. What is there to fear? Fear is death. Fear is the greatest sin. The human soul, represented by Arjuna, was touched with fear. Therefore, Bhagavan Shri Krishna established himself in the Atman, spoke to him the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Still, even after telling so much of teachings of Bhagavad Gita, still his fear of, that is the fear of Arjuna, would not leave him. Later, when Arjuna saw the universal form, the Vishwarupa, universal form of Lord, then he became established in his own Atman. Then with all the bondages of his karma, burnt by the fire of knowledge, he fought the battle. So, with these teachings of Swami Vivekananda, we got the essence, the crux of Bhagavad Gita. Now, we shall go to elaborate something special. What is that? Why, of all the things, in the first chapter, Vyasacharya, see, it's a part of Mahabharata. Why our Vyasa Maharshi, who has culled this from the, he has written the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita has been kept in the Mahabharata. Now, why in the very first chapter, it is melancholy of Arjuna? Why sorrow of Arjuna has been portrayed here? What is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishada Yoga. Why melancholy? Why sorrow? In the first chapter. So we should know. That's why I told you I am going to give you a bird's eye view of Bhagavad Gita. Then when you enter into the Bhagavad Gita, you will have the clarity. That's why I am taking you through all these things. What is that? The first purpose of keeping this Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the melancholy, the sorrow of Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, is, the first purpose is presenting the basic human problems. Basic human problems. And what is that known as in our scriptures? Samsara. All of you are aware of that word, isn't it? All of you know what is samsara. What is the Sanskrit meaning of samsara? Samyak sarati iti samsara. Transmigratory existence. It goes on changing. See, you see the river, you feel that the river is always there. But touch the water for a second and again touch it again, the same water doesn't exist. Constantly in a state of flux. So that is samsara. This word which we are living in is changing constantly. It's in a state of flux, just like that river. Samyak sarati iti samsara. Constantly changing. You can't hold on to. You want happiness. You want to have something. Your kith and kin, you want to live with them. No, everything is going on, slipping away from your hands. That is samsara. So now, the first purpose is to show what are the basic problems of human life. That's called samsara. So the presentation of the description of basic human problems known as samsara or transmigratory existence, it comes in the first chapter. Why should I call this as basic human problem? You know, the problems are universal. Whether you are in Philippines, whether it is the people of Philippines or the people of India or people of Africa or people of American continent, wherever you go, the problems are the same. How? That's why I call it basic human problems, because human problems are universal, irrespective of nationality, irrespective of religion, caste, education, sex, age, irrespective of all the superficial human differences. The basic problem of this world or this transmigratory existence, samsara, is common. And this does not belong to any particular time of history. This problem is human problem at any time of history, not only country, geographical thing, but also of 1,000 years back, 10,000 years back, it was the same. Now it is the same. If you live enough to see another 1,000 years, the problems will be the same. So this problem is human problem at any time of history. This was faced by Arjuna so many 1,000 years back in the Swatmaramananda Yuga, and we are facing the problems, and we will also face in this century, also even after 10,000 years. They will continue to have, the humanity will continue to have the problems, and that's why I call this as basic or fundamental problems, which our scriptures or Bhagavad Gita is calling this as samsara roga, bhavaroga. So presentation of that is the first purpose of the Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter. That's why the first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Then why should it present these problems of the humanity? Why should the Vyasacharya bring this sorrow and melancholy and the problems? Is it not a headache? Why should we know? We all know about the problem. Why should again we should be shown? Because the rest of the chapter, from the second chapter, 11th or 12th verse, all the verses told by Lord Krishna, that is all the 17 chapters. You know that Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. The rest of the 17th chapter is a remedy for all the problems of human life. Now you have come to know why I am taking through this. You will get a clear view now. What is that? If the first chapter is showing you the basic problems of human life, then all the rest, the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, is the remedy for all the problems of your life. Now you will come to know what is the speciality of Bhagavad Gita. So now we shall see. That's why we should know what are the basic human problems of life. You have to analyze it. Otherwise, you will not appreciate the remedy. If you do not know the disease, you will not go to the doctor. You will not go to, even the doctor gives you medicine, you will not have faith in it. That's why you have to analyze the problems properly, understand it, then you will appreciate the remedy given by Lord Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? So let us analyze it quickly, because I have very little time left, I think. Before that, I have to analyze and take you through that.
Yes,
It's
about
already
10 minutes you have, Maharaj. About 10 minutes. 10 minutes more.
It's 12 o'clock now.
Yeah, so 6:28 Manila time is the it will end. So if you can kindly 6:18, that is another say 50 for 12 or 13 minutes, if you can kindly finish.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, let us go through these basic problems of samsara or this world. What are they? The entire Gita Shastra, consisting of the 7 chapters from the 2nd chapter onwards, is presenting a remedy to the problems of life. And therefore, unless we now some mother called Sujata is talking, putting on the mic. Please put off the mic. Do not disturb the class, please.
I have muted her, and my earnest request to everybody is that the only speaker will be unmuted, rest of us will be all muted. So one person will be unmuted, rest of us will be all muted. Thank you very much.
Okay. So now, the term Arjuna Vishada Yoga or Arjuna Samsara Yoga, the human problems faced by Arjuna in a particular context, is common to all of us. So this is the first purpose of the first chapter, and we will see the description. And let us also know what is the second purpose of the first chapter. The second purpose is that to introduce the tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara. What is that? Whole of Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Gitacharya Lord Krishna, who is the Jagat Guru, Vishwa Guru, the universal teacher, and Arjuna, representing all humanity. So that's why the second chapter is introducing the Guru Shishya Parampara, the tradition of Guru and disciple, the spiritual seeker, the Arjuna, that also has to be introduced. What is so important about it? Why should this Guru Shishya Parampara or something to be introduced here? What is the speciality? Now, the reason here for introducing this is, in this context is, so you may all notice in the Upanishads too, in the Vedas too, in some of the other scriptures too, all the scriptural teachings are found in the scriptures are generally in the form of dialogues. Why is it? The reason is, if you have to gain spiritual knowledge, you may gain any other knowledge through internet, through Google, through the books, reading the books, but when it comes to spiritual knowledge, we have to take the help of the Guru. Spiritual knowledge has to come from the spiritual guide. We should never attempt individually. Therefore, the self-medication or just going through yourself may be counterproductive. You may misunderstand it. Like self-medication may be dangerous. Therefore, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna indicates the necessity of the teacher and the student relationship, the Guru Shishya Parampara. So we have seen those two things. Let us go to analyze the basic problems of the life. Now, according to Bhagavad Gita, according to Vyasacharya, points out that this world is a combination of three diseases. There is one disease, you call it a disease. If there are many, what is it called in medical terms? Syndrome. So this world of ours is a syndrome, combination of three diseases. What are they? The three diseases are, the first one is Ragaha. What is Raga? In Bengali, Raga means anger. But in Sanskrit, Raga means attachment. Banglate boli, Rag hobe na, o Rag hoyeche. Mane, he is very angry. Kintu, ekane, in Sanskrit, Ragaha means attachment. So what is meant by attachment? You have some glue or something like Fevistick or Fevibond and you attach something, it gets stuck up. Is that attachment? Yes, that may be. What is it in Vedanta? Ragaha means. Ragaha means, the word Raga means attachment. What is that? Explain it. Elaborate it. Emotional dependence. Psychological addiction. That is Raga. Emotional dependence. So I told you there are three diseases. First one is Raga. What is the second disease? The second disease is Shoka. What is Shoka? Sorrow. What is the third disease? Moha. Delusion. Delusion. You see, what is the first verse in the first chapter? Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayusavaha Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Who told that? Dhritarashtra. He told it to Sanjaya. You know, Mahabharata, you read the father of Kauravas, the husband of Gandhari. How is he? Blind. Doesn't have eyes. What is he indicating? Moha, delusion, Vyamoha. Is blind to the wrongdoings of his children. So we are blind. How does this moha come? Vyamoha comes by attachment, raga. Then what is the next product of raga, attachment? Sorrow. Then what is the next disease? Moha. So these are the three diseases, the basic problems of humanity. Raga, Shoka, Moha. Okay, we'll go to the details of what this raga is. As I told you, the word raga means attachment in Vedanta, emotional dependence, psychological addiction. That's called raga. Now, I think our Swamiji had asked me to talk about in the beginning, before this introduction to Bhagavad Gita, to talk about difference between love and attachment. Now we are coming to that. See, automatically, I don't know, by coincidence or the will of the God, you are getting the difference between attachment, because I have taken up the basic problem of life, ragaha. I am going to tell about the difference between attachment and love, true love. That is, I'll complete that difference and I will stop my talk. Quickly, I will go through that. What is that? We should not confuse. We have to differentiate. Ragaha is attachment and true love, that is prema, Banglate bhalubasha. True love. Attachment and love are different. What are they? Which look very, very similar and they are closer emotions. So let us go on differentiating that, know the difference. While attachment is very much criticized in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures, whereas love or prema is glorified, true love is glorified in the scriptures. While attachment is presented as a trait of this world, this transmigratory existence, love is presented as a trait and characteristics of a liberated, saintly person. And therefore, the word attachment and love must be very clearly differentiated. Vedanta and our scriptures are against attachment, whereas Vedanta and our scriptures are for true love. Now, how do you differentiate between love and attachment? So let us see the first difference. Attachment is based on selfishness. I am attached to a person, I am emotionally hooked or dependent on holding on to one person. We thought, do I get something or from that particular relationship? I never bother about what the other person gets out of this relationship. Either I do not care or is it secondary. I'm always interested in my happiness, and I have that relationship or I like that person for the sake of my own happiness. When I emotionally depend upon a person, that selfish leaning, that selfish dependence is called raga, attachment. First difference. Now, when I'm going to emphasize very much on what I get out of it, selfishness, I'm not interested in the other person. Now, not that I should ignore my own well-being, but it should not be at the cost of other person. Therefore, love is based on selflessness, unselfishness, whereas attachment is based on selfishness. And the second difference, which is corollary to the first one, is attachment is always in the form of taking. What do I get out of it? Taking. I hold on to things and situations and people for getting something, whereas love is something which is based on giving and sacrifice. So thirdly, attachment is always conditional. As long as I'm going to be benefited by that relationship, as long as I'm comfortable, I hold on to that thing or person. The moment I'm not comfortable, I drop that relationship like a hot potato. And that conditional psychological dependence is called attachment. Whereas love is not based on condition, it is unconditional, ahayituka. The next, attachment is invariably coming from a weak mind, which is empty, which is not happy within itself, and therefore it depends upon external factors for satisfaction, happiness and fulfillment, etc. Therefore, attachment is born out of weakness, whereas love is not born out of weakness, but it comes out of strength and fullness. And finally, the attachment, the intellect is clouded, and therefore attachment will lead to violation of righteousness, dharma. Attachment will lead to violation of dharma, whereas love, a person's intellect is sane and clear, and therefore it will not lead to violation of dharma. So these are the important things. I think in the next class, if I'm permitted, I think Swamiji was telling that I should also take up one more class. The date can be decided later on. So if I'm permitted to take up one more class, I will elaborate on these problems, basic problems, and give you a picture of Bhagavad Gita in that introduction. So if it is possible, by the grace of God, let us go to Introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Part 3. I will stop my conversation here. So you can continue further. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Swami Swatmaramanandaji Maharajji, for your excellent and profound talk. And we will eagerly wait for your part 3 of the lecture on Sunday, July 2, at the same time, so that we have comprehensive account of main teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So we would very much look forward. Now we would have a devotional song by Dr. Ranjana Bhattacharya from New Delhi. So Dr. Ranjana Bhattacharya, please.
Namaskar, Swatmaramanandaji Maharaj, Pranam Udaranandaji Maharaj, Panishanandaji Maharaj, Nirmal Babu, and all devotees. There is an angel in all our lives who helps us cross the river of life. He may be Sri Ramakrishna, Jesus, Buddha, or Sri Krishna. So my song will be of that nature. I have a dream, a song to sing, to help me cope with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future, even if you fail. I believe something good in everything I see. I believe in angels when I know the time is right for me. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I have a dream, a fantasy to help me through reality. And my destination makes it worth a while, pushing through the darkness, still another mile. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels when I know the time is right for me. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels when I know the time is right for me. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream.
What a beautiful song, Ranjanadi. We really enjoyed it very much. Now I would request Swami Udaranandaji Maharajji to say a few words. Because of the technical hitch, we could not really acknowledge Swatmaramanandaji properly. So I would request Udaranandaji Maharajji to kindly speak a few words to express our sense of gratitude to Swatmaramanandaji. Udaranandaji Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Nirmala. Thank you very much for everybody who has joined today. We are really very grateful to Revered Maharajji for kindly accepting our request. And last night we had requested him that we should continue this more. I think we can have 2 more classes in month of July if Maharaj is kind enough. The date, one date is already told by Nirmal Ganguly. The other date will be the next alternate Sunday.
16.
Because people really
July.
need to know more about Gita. I feel it is a very very important, and especially because when we go to the book fair, we participate in Manila book fair and other. There people are very eager to know more about Gita. Even local Filipinos, they have some interest. So I feel if we can reach them by telling them about Gita in a simple language, I think everybody will be benefited, and how we can utilize this, because this is not preaching about any religion. It is a philosophy, I think, an idea. I call it SOP, that is standard operating procedure of life. So like you are doing it very good, Maharaj. We are very happy and very grateful that we are doing that. So I request Maharaj, if you kindly be gracious and take more classes continuing on the same trend, Gita, that how can Gita, now it was an introduction, and with that, how it really helps in our life, how we can implement that. We have the same dilemma that Arjun, how to fight the war, whether we should fight it or give it up. What is non-violence? This all confusion is there. It is really not very clear in our minds. So I think because we are not also advocating any particular religion, that is the best part of it. It is universal philosophy that anybody and everybody can follow, regardless of where he stands from. So Maharaj, we are very grateful to you for gracing us with your kind and very words of wisdom. We are also grateful for all who have joined. And I think everybody will be immensely benefited. You see, this kind of social networking, sitting at your home, at comfort of your home, hearing lectures, it is something a very rare privilege. You don't have to take out a car, go out on a Sunday evening or something like that. So much of benefit. Sitting at the comfort of your room, you are getting a highest philosophy. Very important and very interesting, which will help you to not only upgrade your life, modify your life, and learn many lessons. So I think everybody will be very grateful and utilize this opportunity that has been given to Hajj. Yes, some technical glitches will be there here and here. What to do, we cannot avoid. But I think At the end of the day, everybody will be benefited in one way or the other. So if you have any other opinions, I am requesting this to audience that you want something more from Maharaj or something, you have some questions also, you can please send your mails to Mr. Ganguly so that we can address that regarding Gita, especially only regarding Gita, what kind of questions you have, anything like that, please do address, and we will forward the same to Maharaj, and then we can have the question and answer session also later on. So with this, I thank you once again. Thank you very much for patiently hearing and kindly joining this session, and I'm sure you will be benefited. And if you give some sort of a feedback also, we will be very grateful. We don't get what we are doing is really good or not, whether it is by joining itself you show that yes, it is interesting, but some sort of a feedback will be very deeply appreciated. So thank you very much all of you once again. Thank you very much, Maharaj, my grateful, my devoted Pranam Maharaj. Thank you very much for kindly accepting our request, and I hope July session is on. With that hope, I thank you all over again. Thank you, Maharaj.
I will see my calendar and then revert back, because I have other engagements. I will see my calendar and I'll give you the date, Maharaj. Sunday itself.
Okay, Maharaj.
Thank you.
That is fine. Okay, Maharaj. As per your convenience. Yes, Maharaj.
Wonderful. Before we close the program, since we are left with 5 minutes, we have another Ranjana Bhattacharya from India. So if she is there, she can sing a devotional song and we will end the program. Ranjana Di from Ghaziabad, India, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, please, within 3 minutes, if you can sing something for our...
Can I sing Ramakrishna Sharanam?
Yes. Okay.
Jai Thakur, Jai. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam Sharane. Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam Sharane. Kripa hi kevalam, kripa hi kevalam, kripa hi kevalam Sharane. प्रभु कृपा ही केवलम, कृपा ही केवलम, कृपा ही केवलम शरणे. राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम शरणे. शरणागत हम, शरणागत हम, शरणागत हम शरणे. प्रभु शरणागत हम, शरणागत हम, शरणागत हम शरणे. राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम शरणे. नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो नमो. नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो श्री गुरवे, नमो नमो. जय राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम शरणे. राम कृष्ण जय जय राम कृष्ण, राम कृष्ण कृष्ण जय जय राम कृष्ण, राम 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 कृष्ण जय जय राम कृष्ण. राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम, राम कृष्ण शरणम शरणे. जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय,
जय महामाई की जय, जय स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय.
Thank you very much, Ranjana Di, for the beautiful Ramakrishna Sharanam song. And now I'll end the program, but once again, I would like to thank profusely Swami Swatmaramanandaji Maharaji, Udaranandaji Maharaji, and all those who have assembled. And we look forward to your coming to hear the part 3 of the lecture on July 2 Sunday at the same time. Thank you very much. I end the program now. Thank you very much for your kind and gracious presence.